Welcome everyone to What If Deku had Dead by Daylight as a Quirk. As I believe we left off, there were some noticeable differences. I believe Deku got all the way towards the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe he got all the way towards the, I think, hold up, I forgot all the characters' names. I might have accidentally took them all off my phone. Hold up. Real quick. And I believe, let's see, hold up, I should have one. Here it is. Here they go! I'm not reading all of this. No. I do not read things, I watch things. Okay, let's see. It's game time. Okay, wrong one. And he went all the way to the hag, I believe. Or the nest. He went all the way up to the nest, and then I believe Trap, I believe. I do not know. I think I last left off where he was getting the trapper. And Deku, his personality wouldn't change until he got the doctor. Which, we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten towards the hit ability at all, so yeah. I believe I left off where Deku was like, what, like 5, I think? Maybe, I don't remember. 4 players, 1 killer. Okay, I believe that's like, hold up. I gotta like redo all this. Hold up. It's been a while since I've done the series. It's been like several other videos and what ifs I have in my head, which I gotta like, I kind of forget sometimes, so. Hello, let me see my phone. Okay, I'm pretty sure I still have the video on here. Anyways, I might take out some plots from part 1. Deku, yes, he still get the killers as he's a young boy, but the only difference is that nobody can see anything from the main crowd. That's what I'm trying to say. No one can sense the main crowd, or at least see the main crowd. The only time I allow, his abilities, or Deku's abilities to actually work, and during daytime, will be the killers that are on the DLC. But he'll only get like a couple of those. I'm not giving him all of them. Maybe. Just about, because it is a day-by-day Quirk, so yeah, maybe. Deku's personality during these months would not change, but kind of, he would love horror movies, which would stay the same. And there will be, I forgot what I was going to do with the series, unless I'm not going to lie. I never thought this series was going to get such a big hit, so, I remember what I was going to do. Yeah, I gained more information about Dead by Daylight. Yeah, that was what I was talking about. Anyways, Deku will practically be the, I guess, entity. If you know what the entity is practically the equivalent to a god or god of nightmares, practically. It's practically the thing that created Dead by Daylight, practically. It controls everything within it, and only a few can kind of, hold back. The only thing that I can say that can actually hold back the entity, just with pure strength, would be the Pyramid Head. Yeah. Due to him not just being sentient, scratch that. I know he's sentient, but not just because he's not just paranormal, but due to his blade able to cut through anything. And because I'm pretty sure in the lore of Dead by Daylight, the Pyramid Head was originally came to the dimension willingly instead of being taken by the entity, and it was actually supposed to appear in the entity to kind of stop the entity, I guess, or it's really weird. So I guess kind of, yeah, practically that's the gist of it. Practically stop the entity. Anyways, what will happen is that there will be other things. Now, we go to deep inside Deku's subconscious, where the entity appears. The entity appears in one's mind, but to Deku, it is his mind. Or at least a portion of it. The entity in Deku's mind is more of a defense mechanism. And how Deku uses his quirk, or is able to use his quirk, is by bloodshed. Which there has been many, a lot. All over Japan. Of course, making sure, it doesn't lead to Deku, of course. But, I mean, yeah. Anyways. He'll be like the entity, but, I mean, a lot of killers I heard in the lore don't really like the entity and kind of, want to fight the entity to kind of get free, like Micah Myers and like all the other killers who want to get free from the entity. So I'll say this is like the entities. I'll say there are rules. I'll say the entity controls the dream world, or technically, no, not really. I guess technically, when Deku sleeps, he travels to a different dimension, I guess. Or, the Dead by Daylight dimension. Which the entity controls. The entity is kind of, I guess, like a pawn. And then, there's the killers, the entity, and then there's Deku. Which practically controls everything. But, I mean, he's a child, so he doesn't really know how to. They have a problem with the entity. Because they just got dragged into the flipping universe, so I mean, yeah. But they don't have any problem with Deku due to, them practically having Deku grow up by them. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, Deku's personality wouldn't change, but more of the lines of, he would like the darkness. Like Batman. That's all I gotta say. Like, any increases in power over the length of a month or a week I guess that would mean that, wait, hold up, I did like 5 killers in my last episode, so I'm gonna have to add a couple more, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do remember a couple other killers, but I don't feel like they're necessary, right? At least right now. They're still, they're technically still part human. At least the Dr. Hillbilly, I guess, Huntress. Like, the main amount of killers are more lines human than anything else. So facing the entity wouldn't really do much. But it's kind of funny because it's like a triangle. They don't mess with Deku because they know if Deku is pissed off, that he can just erase them. Because, I mean, he's probably like the god at this point. Like, not the god, but, the god of his dimension. Because, I mean, as I said, there's the killers, the entity, and then him. What the killers are trying to do, they're trying to escape, or, the ones that are able to, are trying to escape the entity's control. What the entity is trying to do is trying to escape from Deku. So, kind of each other trying to escape from each other, if you know what I mean. So, killer's trying to skip entity trying to skip Deku. That may or may not happen sooner or later. I don't know how I'm going to have it, but all I know is it's going to be exciting. Until one day, I'll say when the main cast is all done. I'll bring out the, other the DLC characters, or, the other characters that aren't the main continuity. So, let's see, who can we add when, they leave, so... I have the perfect idea. You know what? I'm not going to add any for now. Deku, he does feel, he does get headaches. These headaches will be the entity trying to escape his mind. This spider-like god. So kind of like horror versus horror, practically. Killer versus killer. But more of like god versus, flipping... Wait, if the entity is a god, wouldn't that technically... Wait, if Deku's higher than the entity, that would mean he's practically stronger than us. So god split? No, because he wouldn't be counted as god, so he'd be like... God creator, I guess? I don't know what his equivalent is. Like... I guess he would be like hot. He'd be like the almighty flipping... Like, he's... I don't know what to make Deku. All I know is that Deku will lose some of his powers, godlike powers, when the entity does leave him. But it'd be more of the lines of sticking together that would actually, have him survive. I love this episode. Anyways, Deku would... Oh, let me take another bite. These headaches will be formed when the entity tries to escape, or is trying to escape. But as a child, Deku's, the killers are, they're pretty good. Like, they're in that dimension, like holding back the entity. I'll say the more people escape. Oh yeah. Also, I also found out Trapper's full storyline. So when somebody survives after exiting the gate, I found out that Trapper himself was a survivor at one point, but instead of actually releasing them to the real world, or releasing Trapper, the entity kind of made him like go over many games to the point where the hooks on his bodies aren't just from him trying to escape others, but him refusing to kind of cooperate with the entity. And of course, the entity was victorious in manipulating the Trapper, and eventually, the Trapper becoming, no more a survivor and became a killer, practically. So anyways, yeah, the entity has, like, a lot of things in their base form, even the K-pop killer, so yeah. Oh yeah, I'm also adding him as well. Haha. Same with the Demigorgon. There's gonna be a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty big series. I may edit the title, maybe. Maybe. Anyways, let's start to the... I guess 5th, 6th. No, because I'll say he's... I do believe we left off on Trapper. So, you know what? I'm going to kind of drag on Trapper. I'm going to drag him. So, instead of Deku getting him immediately... I'll say the entity originally had the Trapper to kind of... use the Trapper to kill, Deku, but eventually, not just because the Trapper wants to be, not want to be controlled by anyone. Because they're doing this out of the free will. The only reason they're, staying with Deku is because, he's stronger than Entity, and, if they struggle with the Entity, they have no chance against Deku. So, just imagine a little baby, like a 5-year-old little child, has a power of flipping. Who knows how powerful this man can get? Like, reality warping, reality manipulation, all this other stuff. It's another thing. It's probably like Law's ability, practically from One Piece. Probably like his ability, but like on steroids. Deku notices this one survivor that keeps on surviving. He's intrigued by this survivor. Doesn't matter how many hooks they have in their body, they keep on going. He's intrigued, as the entity is displeased, trying to kill them. The entity is displeased, and eventually figures out that instead of trying to kill them, we should have him become, one of the killers. As, the entity's, doing him. Deku just sees it's a show. He doesn't know it's all actually happening, really. But, he just thinks of this as a dream. So he's like, he's thinking this is like a horror movie. So he's interested. Like, real interested. He sees, the, Trapper, or, the survivor version of Trapper keep on surviving. Starting to become one of his favorite people to watch. Eventually, the entity does grab hold of Trapper, or Survivor Trapper, and manipulate his mind to the point where he becomes a killer. And Deku says, huh, what a turn of events. Interesting. People he used to survive with, now trying to kill them. Interesting. Interesting. Now, we need something more, though. We have Huntress Axes, we have Wraith, we have all these other killers. Very useful. But there has to be something else, though. Something darker. Something... I need something interesting. As you know, besides that, on the sidelines, the plague is coming into fruition. The only reason the plague is not on screen is because she sees the entity as a god giving her power. So without the entity, she's powerless. She's practically formed and molded by the entity. She does not care about Izuku, which kind of that's kind of karma in the long run. But I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what happens to the plague, but I mean, yeah. Let's say just a certain figure, a very figure would kind of just notice some things. Also, the spirit. No, I say the spirit would be a free roam. So yeah, these on the screen will be the ones he controls. Like he's able to control them, but I mean he doesn't, because I mean he's still a kid. He doesn't know how. He kind of just sees them as family kind of type of way, in a weird way. So yeah. As Deku's watching this, and then he notices one round there's no killers, as a portal opens up. This rift in reality, almost. As there are razor blades and razor fences, all around the circle, like where it's kind of just in the air, like right above the ground. As the circle kind of appears in a more red, crimson-like look. As someone appears out, as all you hear is a giant sword dragging. As the executioner. As a head pops out, pyramid head pops out. First his head, then his giant flippin' sword. Knife, sword thing. So yeah. The entity is displeased but unable to do anything. So, unable to send him back, kind of just manipulates him to kind of play the games. But one thing, Deku feels something. He doesn't like he doesn't like it, but he kind of in more of a, how do you say, he's not scared of the pyramid head, but he's like interesting. Like worldly, I don't know. That's the best I can say for Pyramid Head. As he sees that Pyramid Head has very good tactics. able to put his sword inside the ground and practically make like a razor ability, or it kind of just goes through stuff. So yeah. Interesting. Let me see. As practically, you know, he would practically watch them, and he'd realize, oh snap, I forgot about something. The campfire. Like, you know, he let's say there's with these dimensions, there are more than one version of, you know, this dimension, meaning that there's a couple other dimensions. This is just the main one, you know, the entity's on. So, you know, that's why Deku sees it intriguing. You know, he goes to another, you know, version of, you know, the games, the Dead by Daylight. He finds the campfire, where it's practically like, the campfire, if you don't know, is like the only actual safe place until the entity starts the games. Interesting. Very interesting. As he notices something on the corner of his eye. Something dark and mysterious is coming. Not as strong, but more of the darkness. Pure evil, in fact. The darkness that once resides between a young boy killing his sister at a very young age into such a monster. Deku gains memories that aren't even his. Memories that are of another world. Or, you know, if you haven't figured it out, I give like a big hint to the killer's, you know, origins. As you know, that's when Deku wakes up. Oh, I wanted to see you. As you know, Deku kind of just relaxes. I'm bored now. I'm hungry. He gets up. So bored. I wonder, do we have food anywhere? As you know, he has like a mini fridge somewhere. He looks at the mini fridge frying. He has like a salad and like a casserole or something in there. Ah, food, yes. Sustenance I need to regenerate my stamina. Yes. And then he thinks of a plan. What if each killer had their own place or own map of some sort? Getting the beginning of each, you know, killer having their own map. As you know, there'd be the hospital, the kindergarten, the, you know, original map, and it calls all these other maps, practically. As you know, this makes, you know, the entity's job harder and to try and, you know, kind of have them all in one place and try to, you know, study them all in one place. And now, due to them, like, you know, spreading out, they're unable to. This is getting annoying. I can't see. I can't concentrate and study these killers if they keep on being spread out. If you don't know, the entity does relate or talk to itself as a female in the lore. As you know, one of the survivors are, you know, some lore explanations are pointing that this female in the game is a portion or is a part of the entity. Can't remember the survivor's name, but it's one of like the first survivors that they got in the game. So yeah, that's all I got to tell you. Anyways, all I gotta say is bunny. That is the only hint I'm giving you towards the survivor's name. Oh, just the survivor. I'm pretty sure they have like a bunny t-shirt, I think. Can't remember. Probably. Anyways, we go to Deku as like, we just see Deku. You know what? I'll say Deku's able to have items like in his house. Like, not full-grown killers in his house, but, you know, at least items that are from the killers. So, you know, he sees this metal bone-like mask. Cool. This would be the trapper, you know, he has to have a hatchet, like one hatchet, you know, a bone type, tomb, or like, you know, statue, I guess, from the Wraith, the hag, I guess, a trinket, some type of spell, like amulet or something, the nurse, hold up, I don't, something that won't be unusual. I'll say maybe like a small, like mini, like a, like maybe like a type of fire or something. I don't know, like a mini fire, like a mini, not like a real fire, but like a mini trinket of like a fire. Like it's one of those glass statues. Yeah, it's like a fire thing, but you know everything's made out of glass. So yeah, represent the hag for the nurse. No, I already said it would be a spell trinket. No, the nurse. I was talking about the nurse flip. I'll say a doll for the nurse. I don't know why. I feel like the nurse would have a doll. Trapper would be the mask, the full-on mask. Hillbilly. I'll say a tiny hammer, a very tiny hammer. And then for the doctor, I'll say one of those shock bubblegum things for the doctor. A shock bubblegum things. So yeah. Some type of little trinket to like represent each killer. Yeah. He would love these because they look cool and adorable little things. So yeah. Anyways, there will be this darkness though that Deku would have in the back of his head. He wouldn't know what it's from, but he would just he'd be uneasy. Like he knows it wouldn't be able to do anything to him, but he just feels uneasy. That's all he feels something. Like something is there and it is powerful, but he doesn't think it's able to beat him. Like yes, it can be a count as a threat, but I mean it's not as powerful as he is. So yeah. I'm literally getting like the biggest hint towards like one of the killers, really. Like the same killer too. Anyways, Deku would be... What I want to do a time skip, or would I come to kill the mood? Part 3, I'll do the time skip. Part 3, I'll do the time skip. But for now, I'll leave it, under the anime. Or outside the anime for now. As the Deku would kind of... He wouldn't know why, but like he would be very tired at most points in his life. Either by, if you want to know why, this will be, the entity trying to break out, which will make Deku tired. He wouldn't know why it would make, Deku wouldn't know why he's tired. But this, would be the effect of, the entity trying to break out. And not just that, but something arriving in the other side. As Deku... You know what? I will give the biggest hint. I'll say a clown mask. A clown mask is found on the floor or under Deku's bed. Deku sees a red, like something red popping from his under his bed. He picks it up and it's a clown mask. Like, just to cover, like, the eyes, the upper face. And it's part of the nose. I swear, if you don't know this killer, I'd be like, bro, I'm giving so many hints. Especially towards his origin. Anyways, what would happen is that Deku would, him and Bakugo, I guess, would have a play date. More of like a one-sided play date, I guess. Because, I mean, Inko would, try to get Deku to, be friends with at least Bakugo. Because, I mean, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, no, my ice cream's melting. Little ice cream. Anyways, yeah. Some good ice cream. By this age, Deku would have a type of uncontrollable giggle. Not like a a long giggle. Like flipping Joker, but I mean kind of like a small giggle, like I don't know, it just stops from there. Like it would happen at random points too. He wouldn't know why. He would just get this. He wouldn't be evil, you would say, but he's a pretty good kid. I said he is. I didn't say that flipping entire Quirk version of him is. So yeah. Fun fact, actually. The Trapper is like the only killer that's actually rebelled against the entity. Yes, he may have lost, but I mean, it's still pretty cool. Pretty cool, dude, to use. Especially in Dead by Day. It's a pretty fun game. Anyways, enough of that. I'm getting distracted. So, what will we play today? I know he's mumbling to himself. I wonder what we want to watch today. I see. Doctor. Laboratory. Hospital. The farm. The neighborhood. What will I watch? The kindergarten. I wonder who, what killer, what friend, what land I would see them on next. So interesting. At the same time, so satisfying to know what happens next. As Deku's, he's in like, his weird mood. Just mumbles to himself. So, as there would be someone arriving at Deku's house, knocking on the door. It would be weird. It wouldn't look like Deku. I mean, would I want to make that connection with my new whatever I'm having? Nah, I have too much connections. And that kind of went downhill. Anyways, I also got to do like one version of this. I'll do like at night. Anyways, Deku would see this figure. This figure would be knocking on the door. As when he goes to open it, he just sees a very tall figure. Kinda looks like a janitor almost. And then, when he looks towards him, Inko says, "Hey dear, is the mail here?" As Deku looks back at the entity as the entity disappears. Oh, where do they go? Huh. As 5-year-old Deku's kind of confused. Biggest hint I've ever, I give him 5 hints, 7 flipping different hints. Anyways, Deku, he would kind of, right now, he'll be in that state. Oh, hold up. Okay, there you go. He'll be in a very, he would feel very energetic. Unlike other days, this one day would be different. Deku would feel energetic, full of energy, unlike his tiresome self. Yes, he was tired seconds ago, but now he's full of energy. Why? Maybe due to the transformation that's about to, not transformation, but the next killer he's gonna get. I believe it's one of the faster. Well, no, not one of the fastest, but you know, it's on that fast category. So yeah, especially with like its chainsaw move. Yeah, the Hillbilly chainsaw move. So yeah. So you know, Deku's kind of, you know, he's playing around Bakugo. Bakugo kind of scared, but no, not really. At least not anymore, because I mean, he kind of forgot about the things, because they only appear as like illusions to a certain extent. So people, you know, they will call his quirk illusions. But that's what they think, though. As you know, Inko, you know, drops a knife. Deku, you know, not scared, but kind of, you know, jumped a little. Looked at the knife as, you know, a face appeared on the knife. Not his mother's, not his, but a very, very... Yeah, I'm giving like the biggest hint. I'm giving like two of the biggest hints. You know, I mean, all the things I can hint towards are technically both two killers, not one. So I mean, yeah, no, yeah. He sees a ghost-like figure. And remember, two people are like resemble ghosts practically. So yeah, at least two that I know of. The good killers, the two good killers I know of. One that's just flipping fun, and the other one just wrecks you immediately as you play as them. You just wreck like all the survivors. One of them you may not get, you know, you may not be, you know, good at playing as a killer, but I mean, he's pretty flipping fun to use. So yeah. You know, Deku, he does him. He sees it very weird, but, you know, this will be his, you know, technically quirk, I guess, technically. I mean, it can't be shut off, but I mean, the only time he can see stuff is in reflection. Even so, it's only, like, 1 second, like a you know, flash second of him seeing them. So, yeah. Changing that portion of the story, so, yeah. Like, you know how I said they go in and out of existence? Like, kind of blink in and out? Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. These are towards the future killers that he may interact in the real world, that he does not control. Is this good? Is this bad? Are they under the entity's control? Are they not? No, they're not, because I just said they're free, like my guy. I need to stop. My mind's a little bit wonky, anyways. Deku would play with Bakugo. You know, Bakugo, you know, do explosions. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. As you know. I'll say this is like... next day, it's like the... next thing, I'll say it is the time where Bakugo falls off the bridge. Agency and the Bakugo. Bakugo, wait a second. Can't remember the song. It's actually pretty catchy. The one Bakugo was singing as he fell down. Pretty catchy though. Anyways, besides that, Deku, before, you know, anything happened, Deku saw two figures, or one figure, more lines of it. It kind of fell. Deku kind of ran in this direction. And, you know, saw the figure fall down. But, you know, when he went to, you know, look at the figure on the ground, it wasn't there. Instead, a leaf replaced it. You know, Bakugo was like, hey, nerd, wait up, damn nerd. As you know. Or just nerd, I guess, because he is a child. As you know, what were you so giddy about? Oh, I saw a very unique leaf. Whatever, you're weird, Deku. As you know, Deku would perceive to see things. He would see things, but the actual, you know, entities themselves aren't yet there at Japan. Will they be soon? Yes, because I mean he's getting flipping flashbacks. I mean would it be flashbacks or flash? Flashes in time. That's what I'm gonna call them. Every time he sees like an instance of someone, and then they they kind of disappear like the next time they blink. I'll call that like a flash time or something, or like a flash pick. I don't know, something to do with like time or something. Anyways, besides that, Deku would kind of relax for the past months to come. As you know, on the daily, the next game will happen. As this time, instead of being, in the spectator seat, Deku would kind of flash himself in and out of his own dimension. Playing as, or, being in the same, place as the survivors. Instead of spectating them, he would be on the land, like actually on the land, instead of just looking at them. He would be on the land where, they ran from killers and whatnot. He would see this as weird. Very weird. As he would kind of walk around looking through houses. This is cool. I never thought I was actually able to go through here. This is so cool. This allows Deku to actually enter in and out of his own dimension. To actually be there. As the entity is getting like aggravated. It's like, it's no fun when the creator ignores the game. Deku doesn't notice, but something's something following him, something like watching him from afar. I'll say this is like a daydream, so like it's in the morning, but he's kind of like asleep. So it doesn't count as a game since it's not at night, but I mean it's like, I guess it's more of like an origin story for like the killers and how they got here, more lines of it. So yeah. So Deku's just like, okay, I feel like something watching me, but I don't know what it is. As he looks as a woman is running up the stairs of a house, or running in and entering a house. As someone is kind of not chasing after them, but like kind of walking very heavily towards them. As they're running up the stairs. He's kind of watching in like first person. So, he don't want to get seen, but I mean, he is interested, so he kind of, like, follows them. Or at least follows after, the big man with the white mask. So, yeah. He's not trying to, get his attention at all. I mean, he's just trying to, like... He low-key just trying to, like, look, and we'll see what might happen. As the the woman goes to close the door... As he sees the man on the other side having a knife by the door. And then that's when Deku's wakened up by being shaken awake by his mother. As his mother's like, honey, it's time for school. As Deku gets out of the car, to go, to school. That was a pretty good nap. It was interesting. As that's when Deku sees something. He blinks to make sure it doesn't disappear. Or, thinking it might be another illusion. But it doesn't go away. He sees this entity. The same entity that kind of... How would you say... The same one he appeared in his, like, daydream. He blinked multiple times. And it didn't go away until, he kind of looked the other direction, looking towards, the school, kind of walking in. And, when he tried to look back, it was gone. Ha ha ha. Is this illusion? Is this real? What is it? As Deku, opens the door, and that's where I'm going to end this video.